If you ever feel like the path to your goals feels harder than it needs to be, it probably is. In this video, I'm sharing one of the most powerful yet often overlooked reasons why it may sometimes feel like you're swimming upstream, and what you can do to transform it so you can get in the flow by designing your year for success. Hi, I'm Spencer Snakard. And on this channel, I help visionary entrepreneurs and transformational leaders like you to own your power and set yourself free from any barriers to your success so you can expand your impact while loving life every step of the way and without ever needing to give up what matters most to you. This video is positioned last in a series to help you set yourself up for your best year yet. If you haven't seen the prior videos yet, you can click the link on your screen. Or if you'd rather stay here, the 10-second recap of the last video on surrounding yourself with success is this. Like animals, we adapt to our environments. We will adjust our thinking and our behavior to survive in our surroundings. But unlike animals, you can design your environments to be something you want to adapt into, so that as you adapt to it, you naturally grow and expand in the ways that you design. You probably already do this in many ways, but you may not quite have grasped the true power it gives you in all arenas to achieve your goals and have your year be filled with a continuous series of successes that can come with ease. You can design all of your surroundings to lift you up, to let it carry you, instead of you trying to push or force or power through it. That's not to say you don't need to take action or do any work, but it's like the difference between swimming upstream against the current, fighting against whitewater rapids as you kick and claw and struggle your way to your destination, versus allowing yourself to be carried downstream, surrendering to the current and flow as it delivers you exactly where you want to go. Now, before you start redesigning things for that downstream flow, just take a moment to assess and evaluate how things currently are. See, everything in your life right now is a reflection of who you once were. Your business, work, finances, relationships, car, health, body, clothes, stuff, all of it is a reflection of who you were when you chose or created or perhaps tolerated those things. Some of it might still be a great fit and be exactly what you want. If so, that's great. Keep it around. But some of it might not fit as you draw messages from it that are disempowering and bring you down, validating old beliefs about who you were or what's possible for you or the ways of the world. There's been a big trend lately to just get rid of things that don't bring you joy. I'm not suggesting you should hold on to those things, but there's a huge opportunity for learning and growth if you just take a second to pause before you let them go. The thing is, we humans are meaning-making machines. I spoke much more about this in a video titled How to Stop Being Triggered, which you can access by clicking the link on your screen or in the description below. We are constantly interpreting and assigning meaning to everything going on around us. It's one of the ways we've outlived the dinosaurs, by being able to instantly interpret danger without having to give it any conscious thought. Most of the time, you probably don't even know that you're doing it, but you are constantly assigning meaning and interpretation. And the thing is, you are who you are everywhere in life. So for example, if you have some epic business goal, but you've got a closet that's half full of your, quote, skinny clothes that you haven't been able to fit into for the last 3 years, then every time you walk into your closet, you're probably having subconscious and maybe even conscious thoughts like, you suck. When are you going to get yourself back into those clothes? Crap, you can't even achieve your goal of getting 10 to 15 pounds off. Who the hell do you think you are to be chasing after that epic business goal? Or, oh my gosh, do not even think of getting on a stage and doing a TED Talk until you get yourself back into those clothes. And it's bringing you down mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, even physically. It's draining you and your ability to be your best. But remember, the good news is you can intentionally design your environments to be something you want to adapt into. You can design them to lift you up, to be something that you naturally grow and expand into as you adapt. So back to that skinny clothes example, you don't have to go lose those 15 pounds to reach that business goal, but let's get that "you suck" message out of your space. Maybe that means you move the skinny clothes out of the closet for now. Maybe you go buy some new clothes that fit you fabulously well and make you feel like a total badass exactly as you are right now. And if you really do want to fit back into them, maybe you go hire a personal trainer. The point is, you are adapting to your surroundings and being impacted by the meaning and interpretation that you're forming from them all the time. And you're responding to the support or the lack of support that you're drawing from them every second of every day. Now, a big part of the work that I do with my clients is to help them dive into what they're getting out of those interpretations. Because even though it might seem like there's no possible benefit to anything disempowering being on your mind or on your heart, if you're keeping it around, there's always something you're getting out of it. Like for instance, if those plans for a TED Talk have been bringing up some feelings of fear or doubt, wondering if you and your story are good enough for a TED stage, then those skinny clothes and the messages and interpretations you're drawing from them are keeping you safe. As long as you're feeling bad about how you look and telling yourself that there is no way you're going on that stage until you get back into those clothes, whether you're actually making any real effort to get back into those clothes or not, then you don't have to put yourself out there. You don't have to risk looking bad or being judged or subject yourself to further feelings of inadequacy. So see, if all you do is get rid of the clothes, that may help. But it may be just like whack-a-mole as far as beating down or hiding what's really going on. Because today, it may be the clothes that are keeping you distracted from the fear that's popping up. But if all you do is get rid of the clothes without getting to the source of why they don't bring you joy, then the very next day, you might find you've suddenly developed a burning need to redesign some branch of your business before you go do that TED Talk. When really it's the same fear popping up again, keeping you small, or at least keeping you smaller than your soul is calling you to be. So before you just get rid of those things that aren't bringing you joy, use the messages that they're sending you to get to the real heart of the matter, so that you can be empowered and inspired as you redesign your environments to support you in becoming who you want to be. For example, while I was preparing for this video, I got very conscious to some not so empowering messages that I've been drawing from our kitchen table of all things. It may sound crazy that a table can have such impact, but there are very specific memories it brings up for me, sometimes consciously, but I realize now probably all the time subconsciously. I am not the woman I was when I lived through the creation of those memories, and I don't need something around me, especially that I use so regularly on a day-to-day basis, to keep pulling me back to that time or that prior version of myself. Instead, I can replace it with something that reminds me of who I am becoming. I get a huge smile inside and out, thinking of getting a table now that can be in our eventual dream home in Maine, where I can be sitting at that kitchen table looking out the window at the Atlantic Ocean, perhaps even sitting there with a friend or a client, someone who's big in the transformational leadership space, as we're plotting out our plans to change the world. So, what can you do to learn from your surroundings as you transform them to set yourself up for success? Well, step one is to get conscious to what environments you're in and what's in your environments. A fish doesn't know it's swimming in water. It's just born into it, and it is the way its world is. So what water are you swimming in? Thomas Leonard referred to that water as the 9 environments of you. I like to think of it as any source of input into your mind, heart, soul, or senses. Everything from relationships, physical spaces, professional networks, work, finances, health, books, music, movies, courses, coaches, religious practices, communities. If it's in your life, it's something you can intentionally design. Step 2, notice if your surroundings lift you up or pull you down. You can make a list of all your key sources of input, and you can get as detailed or not as you want, even going person by person, room by room, thing by thing, and indicate whether it lifts you up or pulls you down. Step 3, particularly for the things that you feel pull you down or don't bring you joy, ask yourself, what message is this sending me? What meaning am I drawing from this? Remember, everything is serving you in some way. And in this case, it may be an icky way that's rooted in fear and survival mode. If you want some guidance to dive deeper into identifying counterproductive payoffs so you can let them go, check out my free masterclass at spencersnakard.com/masterclass. It's also linked in the description below. Step 4, identify people, places, things, inputs to intentionally bring into your surroundings that will lift you up toward fulfillment of your mission and your goals. By the way, that meaning and interpretation we talked about that can bring you down is almost always rooted in fear and some version of not-enoughness, which you may recognize or relate to as imposter syndrome. Click the link on your screen to watch my 4-part series titled How to Relieve Imposter Syndrome and Stop Feeling Like a Fraud. And be sure to click subscribe to be notified of new videos every week. See you in the next one.